Everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to start working on upper cabinets, and this will be based on some of the stuff what we learned in the previous videos, and so it should be a lot quicker doing this now. And so we're going to create a number of parts for our upper cabinets. We're going to do the sides first, we're going to do the tops and bottoms, we're going to do the nailers, and then we're going to do our shelves. Now, we have not talked about on any of these videos backs, because they're going to be quarters back, so we're going to do those separately at a different time, and we'll go through all the calculations on how those are done. So anyway, so let's get into creating a upper cabinet. So first thing we're going to go ahead and do is I've started out a new sheet and just did 24 by 36 with my 0.71, which is my normal size for thickness for my cabinets. We're doing material surface, and I always use the lower left for my datum position. And yeah, so we'll go from there. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to set up all my guidelines for all of the various things I'm going to need for this. So coming from the side, I'm going to come from the side first. I'm going to go to 0. I will right click on that. I'm going to do a relative guide at 3/4 of an inch. Do that one. I'm going to do another one at 11. 11.25 inches. Create a new guide. And the last one is going to be at 1 inch. Okay. Now we're going to take another guide, and I'm going to come down. I'm going to go down to the bottom. Highlight that. I want one at 0.75 up from the bottom. And this is where my top and bottom are going to be. You can do 3/4 of an inch, you can do 1 inch. Actually, let's do 1 inch, just to keep it a little bit easier. And that's going to be a relative position to the one we have. So there's that one. We need to do another one at 30 inches, because that's going to be the height of our cabinet. And we need to do one at 29. Because that'll be where our top is going to fit. Okay. So we've got our offset from our top and bottom here. We've got our offset for our nailer, and we got our front of our cabinet. So first thing we can do is let's draw our box. Come down here to 0, 0, and we're going to come up to 11.25 by 30, because we have our guidelines and we're snapping to that. All right, our next thing is to create our top and bottom dados, and we can come and create a vector. Go from the back, 0, 0. We're going to come across, and we want the height on this to be 0.71. And I'm going to do 12 inches long. We'll apply that. Close. Now this will go over a little bit on either side like we've done before. I just use my arrow keys to line that up back and forth. So we've got a little bit on either end. Then we're going to go down to our bottom and do the same thing. We'll come down to, it'll be 1 or 0 and 1. And we've got 0.71 by 12. We'll apply that, close, use our arrow keys, bring it over a little bit. There's our dados for our top and bottom. And so I think at that point, let's turn off our guide so we can kind of see what we've got going on here. So that's our outline. This is our back dado. This is our bottom dado for bottom piece. Now I do set these back. You can make these flush. I like to have them dadoed in. If If you do butt construction, you can do them that way, but I like to dado these in. I think it gets better support for the shelf and easier to assemble. All right, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get our all of our shelf pinholes in, and we'll do some guides for that again. And I think let's pull one in here, and edit this one. I want to move this over to 2 3/4. We'll apply that. And what that'll do is going to move, we've got 1 inch between our back and our nailer area, so 2.5 inches will give me 1 3/4. Excuse me, 1 inch plus 1 3/4 is 2 3/4 will get me off the back here. So we'll do that one, and then we're going to do another one. Close this. We're going to bring another one in here, and we got 11 1/4, and I want to probably be, there's 1 inch back from the front. It's 1 1/4 back from the front. I'd like to keep it a little more out in the front for that. So we're going to keep that there. And the next one we're going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to set an absolute on this. Actually, I'm going to set this at 15 inches. So 15 inches, I'll apply this. Let me get this out of the way. So this is a 30-inch cabinet, and we are 15 inches. So this is centered top to bottom. What that's going to allow this to do is this side is going to be able to be used for either a right or a left. We don't have to distinguish between right and left. If we didn't get these shelf pins aligned off the center, or get them evenly spaced for whatever reason, then when you create a right and left, it's going to be, they won't match up. And we did the same top and bottom, so we've got the same reveal top and bottom. So anyway, so this will make it a little bit easier down the road. So next thing we need to do is create a circle, and we're going to do a diameter of 1.94 inches, which is our similar to our 5mm hole, or 5mm shelf pin holes, and these are going to get drilled, so it doesn't really matter that it's going to drill in the center of that anyway. So from there, we've got that one. Now we need to array that, and we're going to do, and I've done this already, so we're going to go 8 rows high in one column at a Y of 1.25 inches on an offset. So if we do that, it goes up. And then if we do change this to negative, it's going to go down. So that'll give us a shelf pin. And let's just see how far we're off the top and bottom. So if we come in here, we're about 4.5 inches off the top and bottom. I think that's plenty. All right, we've got the shelf pins created, and now we'll go ahead and group. We're going to go ahead and copy those. Control copy, Control V, and then we'll just drag those straight over until it clicks in with there. Snap to that guide. We'll turn our guides off, and there we go. Now the one thing that we're not doing on a lot of these is I'm not setting the hinge holes, and I'm not doing drawers on the lower. Normally, if I was doing a lot of cabinets, I would do that, but on these, I've just decided to leave them off. So, but you could do those also. So, anyway, so there's our sides. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we need to create all of our other associated parts. So I think what we'll do is we're just going to create another sheet here. another sheet that's the same size is fine. Go to that sheet, and then now we need to go back to like we did on the lower cabinets. I need to go back and I'm going to grab that Excel. Alright, so here's that same Excel spreadsheet that I created before that does the adding and subtracting of the various dados and scribes and the panels and stuff. So if you want more detail into what this does or how it's done, you can look at the second video in the base cabinets. But real quickly, if I change the number up here to a 20-inch cabinet, that will change all the numbers through here to give me my widths of all of the sizes of my, and the uppers is going to be the top and the bottom shelf, the nailers and the shelf. So there's 3 different sizes, but we're going to stay with 24. But we've got less for the scribe, less for the dado, less for the panel side, and then a gap for another additional 1/8 inch for the shelves. So, all right. So the next thing I do, I'm going to just go and grab this window here. I will copy that, and then I'm going to bring it into. It's going to paste as a bitmap. And it's not going to show up real well, but it gives me enough that I can at least see the numbers and just create the panels I need to. So for our first panel, actually let's do the shelves first. And those are going to be, get up in our drawing tab. My shelves are going to be width of 10 inches, and my height is 21.995 inches. We'll apply that. Close. We'll set that off to the side for right now. And I think what we'll do too is I'm going to go ahead and draw a text on this. This is the shelf. Just so I know what this is. Close. And we're going to group these items, and then I'm going to do a copy of this. Control C, Control V, or use your mouse. So, because generally we're going to do 2 shelves for an upper cabinet. Now we need 2 nailers, and we're going to go back in and create another vector. We're going to come in, and that is going to be 4 inches in height and 4 inches in width, and in height it's 22.08 inches. And we'll Control V or Control C to copy. Wow, just had a good day today. Group those. I'm going to rotate these 90 degrees. Close. I want to put text on these again. copy, Control V. Oh, why is it not? What am I doing here? Control copy, Control V. I gotta close out the text window. There we go, finally. Again, we're going to group those. Alright, so the last thing that we need to do to create is our tops and bottoms. And those are going to be 22 3/4 by 11 1/4. So if we go into create a vector, come down here, 0, 0, come drag it up close to that, we are going to be 11.25 inches by 23.25 inches. Close that out. That is our upper, top and bottom are going to be the same. Next thing we need to do is I need to create. I'm going to put a guide on this, and I need this guide to be 0.75 inches over. Delete this one, delete this one, delete this one. This is going to create our back dado for the 1/4 inch back panel. So we come in here and we want to go, remember, a little bit over. So we want to be 1/4 inch in width. And we want to be about 23.5 inches, and then we just close this. We're still highlighted, and then we use our up key until we get it just a little bit. We're just a little bit past. Actually, that's not going to be quite enough. I should have gone a little bit more, but anyway. So we just want to make sure that goes past a little bit. We'll get to view. Let's get rid of our guidelines again. So it's a little bit past on the bottom, should be a little bit more on the top, but for this, I think we're fine. So what we'll do is go ahead and group those. So next, after we've created that, we'll go highlight again, Control Copy, Control V. Now we've got a copy of that. And group those two together, just so they'll move around. Group those objects, and this will be our top and bottom. All right, everybody, so we've wrapped up the basic parts for the uppers. In future videos, we're going to go through using layering to do tool pathing and how to automate that, and then we're also going to start looking at some of the other softwares that we've talked about, and then we'll also I'll do another video probably just on backs. So I know some of these videos are long, and they are really meant to, if somebody wants to go step by step in this. So if you're watching this far along in the video, I really appreciate it. And if there's questions or comments and stuff you want to see, or something that I missed, go ahead and leave me a comment, and I will do my best to try to make it so I can answer your questions. All right, have a great one. See you next time.